One thing I make sure that I try to read every day, something related to NVC. Even if I do not have a time, I will read a quote.
So recently, I started a practice of writing my judgment on my notebook app. And that is something that shifted me from a place where I used to have more judgment. I was always around my head, but it got me more connected.
Well, this is a practice that it might not be every night, but before going to bed, I will have the personal examine. Then I just ask myself, how did I observe and how did I judge today? And what were the feelings that I felt the day? That's for the day, since I woke up until now, going to bed. And it helps me because sometimes it helps me to sleep well because I let go of the things that I happened throughout the day. That I make a request, yes, I felt angry at 2 o'clock. I was so furious during the meeting. I was so disappointed with the harvest and all these things. My request to myself is, yes, having felt that, is it okay for you to let go and then sleep? So that's a personal practice that I do, not every night, but at least before I go to bed. Part of my evening prayers is really to ask, how did I observe? How did I judge? And what were the feelings and needs met and unmet throughout the day?
Whenever there is a emotional exchange, any challenging communication I have, when I go to sleep, I think about it. And I think about it with all my experiences.
So I did start being silent. I can make a distinction of Burnett being ready to respond, even if the question has not yet ended. Even if the question is not yet there, I am ready to respond. I'm very combative. But with NVC, I had to pause, be silent, and talk to myself. Ask myself what is real now, what is alive in me. And take on that force, I don't know, strength, I don't know, power, you call it, to compose myself in a way that acknowledges where I'm standing in a meeting or in a conversation or in a workshop, while at the same time being ready to listen to what others have to contribute.
I think pausing and thinking about what I am feeling inside, even closing my eyes sometimes and breathing and trying to figure out what I'm feeling at the moment. And I acknowledge that feeling. I'm not trying to analyze the feeling. I just acknowledge the presence of that feeling. Like, for example, yesterday I was nervous before my presentation. So I took a silent moment, closed my eyes. I was breathing and acknowledging the presence of nervousness in me. I think that has become very beautiful, and it calms me down. I acknowledge the feeling and then I give it a word and I'm at ease.
Pausing before reacting, for me, is so important to me. So whenever I'm triggered, whether it's on the road, or in a conversation or during a disagreement, I take a deep breath. And then I silently name my feelings and my needs. Now that practice has actually changed so much in me, and it makes me more calmer. I don't really rush to doing things. I now look behind or below to see my intentions first with this pause, yeah.
I am able to pause and ask myself, what am I feeling and what am I needing right now? And that helps me to get in touch with myself, and it helps me to connect and be able to react from a place of calmness and understanding.
And I think this is also helping me to take better decisions rather than just reacting and getting angry and showing that reaction. So there is a space, there is a pause before I even take reactions or often say things which might be hurtful to others. So that little change has been there.
And this empowers me to be able to make good decisions, and also helps me to be able to make constructive dialogues with people that I'm trying to communicate to. And this ends up bringing very constructive and meaningful conversations.
I regularly try to make a sketch notes on the concepts, and it helps me to see a concept in a new light and keeps me connected. And I go through all my sketch notes every week and wait for a time when it will be 100 and I can put it there together in a book.
I have a giraffe on the wardrobe, just a picture, the image of the giraffe in the forest. And whenever my children do something and I'm like, in that point, I want to vent, I just run in my room because it's just there and I can just vent and then just come back to myself. And I keep that image whenever I am.
And I always have a giraffe near me in my sight, in my office, in my home. Always have. And when I look at the giraffe, I remember of that consciousness and my intention at the moment.
One of the practices that's been very present to me for quite a while now is identifying my thinking and being aware of how my thinking colors what I see as reality. And so to be able to catch my thinking as it's happening or shortly thereafter, and to connect to what's under that thinking, because there's energy. So we can have a lot of energy in our thinking. And it's not about getting rid of the thinking, it's about connecting to what's really important under there.
It's so much present in my life, and if it is present in many forms, then I trust that it will have its impact. Even if I judge myself that I'm disconnected, I'm still there. Yeah.